Robin and Steve, we left off in Fulaga, at the southern end of the Lao group, Fiji. We'd made it through the treacherous reef pass, and we planned to kick back for quite some time in this extraordinary place. After a short walk across the island, we presented our sevu-sevu to the chief, were introduced to our amazing host family, and invited back that very evening for a party. There was just enough time for a pre-party snorkel. And then we retraced our steps back to the village, to what was the most beautiful and respectful 21st birthday party I've ever seen. All 3 villages come to this feast, so we lucked out.
Smallwool's birthday, hip hip! Hip hip! Izake, hip hip!
And those kids had waited there politely for over an hour before they could touch their food. Very different from 21sts back home. It was calm. I could play with my new toy, aerial dock lines, for when it's too breezy for silks, which is most of the time. This is yet another kayaker's paradise, so long as you're mindful of the fast currents. Even just one of these crazy little islands looks different from every angle, offering hours of entertainment. In one part there's a big crescent barrier of islands, and some have cracks that go all the way through. I just had to see the other side.
An eel! Oh my god! No! Big enough?
It was rougher on the outside, and we were grateful for this island barrier against the weather. Now to climb back through to the sheltered side. I'd been invited to go crabbing with our host family and her family, ladies only. This is Chica, granddaughter of our host. I was with a boatload of very skillful crabbers and fisher people, and it was a privilege to be able to watch and learn. Chica is passing out the net to Salote, who is our host sister and superhuman. You'll see. We left the fisher people behind and headed to the mangroves, where I was to chase these nimble crabbers until they had enough for their church feast on Sunday. There is a knack to picking up crabs to keep your fingers safe from the nipping end. Once she sees a crab, Salote is decisive and fast. Let's have a peek. Inside the sack, they'll be feeding a lot of mouths tomorrow, so these crabs will be appreciated.
When we are fasting catching crabs.
Yeah? Did you learn when you were a child?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we are old now, Really hard.
You make it look very easy. Are there less crabs now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's left now.
Yeah. So you have to work harder.
Yeah.
Salote and her family made this look easy, and it is their normal. But I was super impressed, and a bit too hesitant to catch a crab myself. Yet. This is just one of a huge skill set of my super sister, Salote. Having crabbed for a while, it was time to go pick up the fisher people. The women with the net are at the other end of this channel. Salote is herding the fish with every beat of this stick. Once all the fish and crabs and people were aboard, I was dropped back to the boat, and Salote insisted that we have a crab each, and it was very tasty. Here is a rare appearance of our dinghy, because the currents were strong. Too strong as it turned out. We'd be back another day. We had another mission while we had our dinghy inflated. To dive on this shipwreck. It's not an ancient ruin, but a fiberglass jobby that now has a crew of fish and goes nowhere. This is the watery galley. And it's not often you get to swim down the mast. Another dinghy mission to witness the official opening of the Fulaga Cricket Club. We'd met the coach, and he is hoping to prepare the team for a game in Suva. Most of the village came to watch and to support their local team. You've not met our host family properly. Salote and Minnie had been spoiling us by baking us bread, giving us lemon tea, and filling our bags with fruit and vegetables from their gardens. This is Minnie, our host brother and skilled woodworker. We convinced them to let us spoil them, so they came to our boat and entertained us. Salote said, "I don't know how to shy," and we're glad she doesn't. And Minnie manages to make my ukulele sound good. It got windy after that. Steve and I did some experimental weaving. I found it quite meditative, even if I lack skill. And here, for you, Salote, is proof that I can pick up a crab. Even on windy days, it was sheltered enough inside to explore these deep blue holes, busy with fish. And gorgeous however you look at them. We were slowed down by this feisty eel, who wanted to take on our kayak. We went around the feisty eel to take a walk the only way we could, on sandbars at low tide. The wind and tide dictated everything we did here. And quite often, we'd just have to wait for the right tide. Tucked off to the side of the pass until the current slowed down enough and was in the right direction to not sweep us out to sea. We were glad to have seen this place glassy, because most of the time we were there, it was blowing quite hard. Here we are, waiting again to snorkel the pass. It's slack low tide, and soon the tide will start coming in. Nearer the lagoon, the coral is not in the best shape. Most of it's brown or grey, like this. But further out toward the ocean, it was quite exciting to snorkel in the fast currents with sharks, fish and some nice coral. This was more sharks than we'd seen in a long time. I said I was going to cram all of our time in Fulaga into one episode. I lied. There's just too much. And why rush a good thing?